Welcome back, friends. So I want to use this video as a lesson. Basically, why you should be getting under your rig and taking a look at things after every trip. And you need to make this a habit. Now, we're all really good at doing this beforehand, right? We always have that last minute maintenance thing we have to do before we go on a big trip or any trip at all, and we hurry and rush and get it done. But if you think about it, most of your wear occurs on the trip itself. So really what we should be doing is getting under our rigs after the trip and seeing if there's anything that needs attention. Here's a really good example. We just took a honeymoon trip. It was about 2 weeks. We went through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, had a great, wonderful time, and it was an amazing trip. We got back here, and I crawled under my Jeep and I took a look like I normally do, and I noticed some things that are quite shocking. And if I don't take care of them, not only will they be costly, but they also could be very problematic, and most likely will cause us a problem on the trail. So we're going to get under there, we're going to take a look at them, and we're going to repair them together, and I'm going to show you that right now they're an easy fix, but how they could have been pretty problematic if I don't take care of them now. So let's get under there and let's take a look. All right, here we are. We're under the front of the Jeep. You can tell this is the steering box here, if you can see that, and steering gear and stuff. This is the very front of the Jeep. And right away, some of you might notice that we are missing a bolt for our body mount. Now the mount is still there, so the rubber and the retainer are still there, but the bottom retainer is missing and the bolt is missing, meaning that this front grille is not actually bolted down. Just the weight of the accessories on it are what's holding it. And that's a problem because on a Jeep TJ specifically, this is the only bolt for the whole front of the Jeep. There are some bumpers on the sides that land on the frame to help cushion it, but essentially this is what keeps the whole grille and everything down. Without this whole grille is just rattling around. In the future, I could crack the whole front of the grille off if I don't take care of this. So it is minor, but it could become a big problem. So let's take care of that. What I have here is I have a new, basically a new body bushing kit. We're going to leave this original one in here, just put a new retainer and a nut and a bolt in it because this bushing itself is good, and we just need this. Now luckily Crown still sells the bushings for these. You can buy them individually like I did, or you can buy two forms of a kit. One is just the bushing without the bolt. You save some money if you need to replace your bushings, and the other one is with the bolt. So I opted this way. So I'm going to turn on a flashlight here so I can look into that hole to see if that's lined up. And it's, like I said, it's not. And then we're going to get this lined up and started, but before I do, I'm going to take some I don't know, I'm going to increase my chances of this working, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm going to put a little bit of thread locker on this thing. Okay, so let's go ahead, get this all lined up, and hopefully we can get that in there. All right, that's pretty good in there. I'll come back and torque it. I think it's 35 foot-pounds, but we're gonna consider that done for the moment and move on to the next one. Okay, so here we are underneath the Jeep. Here's my transmission, and this is the mount. And what you'll notice is that there is a bolt here, but no bolt right here. And there's supposed to be a bolt there. It's supposed to have 4, it currently has 3. Now I actually noticed this while we were on our trip. The bolt was kind of just dangling here. And what I attempted to do is kind of get the bolt back in there and get it started, and I couldn't get it started, and I couldn't get the bolt back in. So what I did is I wedged something in here to pull the bolt out. It was wedged to where it wouldn't come out, but I didn't want it to damage the threads in the transmission any more than it may have already done. So this is something we definitely need to fix. The transmission's supposed to have 4 bolts here. It has 3. That's putting extra stress on those points, and I need to get it back and corrected. So let's go ahead. We're going to try to I've tried to think about this many ways, maybe just unbolting the mount and raising the thing up and see if I can get the bolts started and everything, but honestly I think the best way is just to do it right. Let's put a support into the transmission, and then we'll just drop the skid plate and then tackle it, and then we'll put everything back up. I think that's going to be the best way to tackle this. All right, so you can see what we're dealing with now, and honestly, what I can tell you is I never would have gotten this in there from the position I was in without taking that skid plate off. There's just, I could see the threads are a little bunged up from this thing just kind of sitting down here and rattling around. So we can chase them, but this is aluminum, and it looks like we can get this started. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna chase it with the bolt here. And we're just gonna go nice and slow and see if this grabs. It looks like it is. And we're just gonna work it in, and we're gonna make sure that we're not tearing anything up. Oh, looks like it's going pretty easy. We're just gonna work this back and forth. Looks like we got it. Thread locker is on. Let's get this back in here. Whew. Okay, well, I am glad to have that done, and not because it was hard, but more because it's just shy of 100 degrees right now, and it's after 10 o'clock. It's absolutely nuts. It's so hot tonight. It's ridiculous. So, needless to say, I'm ready to go in and get cleaned up and get cooled off somewhat. Anyway, but those issues that I had is a good example of why you should crawl under your rig. If I would have never crawled under the rig, I wouldn't have known those are problems. And a few things could have happened. One, we could have just broken more stuff when we went out, different things. And then when I came back and finally did notice that we had some broken stuff, then I have to spend a whole entire weekend of fixing things instead of just one evening like I did today, a few hours in the evening. Or worse, let's say the radiator grill. Let's say we go out and because that mount isn't there, we hit some rough ruts or a whoop or something like that or whatever, and it jostles that grill around enough that it cracks a radiator with all the twisting in the body. That would definitely put an end to a trip and make your day really hard because now you have to get the rig home. Or let's say we actually take the rig rock crawling. So we go rock crawling and one of those 3 bolts gives out that was holding the transmission in, and then we crack the casing of the transmission. Now, are those things likely to happen? No, probably not, but the chances of them happening are greater when things aren't as they should, and things under the Jeep in those 2 spots were not as they should be. It's just really important that we crawl under our rig and take 5, 10, 15 minutes and just stare at things. See if things look different. Are there shiny metal parts? Are fluids leaking? Are things rubbing that shouldn't rub? Is there paint in spots that there weren't before? Now for me, it only takes me about 5, 10 minutes when I crawl under the rig to take a look at it, but it's because I've done this for years. And I've made that a habit of mine to crawl under there and just look. So I know when something looks out of place. My point is though, if you aren't doing this or not used to doing it, the more you do it, the easier it becomes because you'll be able to quickly identify when something doesn't look correct. And then you'll know that you need to take some sort of action to fix it. And this is actually segueing to a good idea. I'm having this right at the moment. I'm gonna make a video on things that I check when I crawl under the rig. And just kind of what I check for from front to back and kind of how I work through it. It's very quick, very easy, and I think it'll be a really good informational video for everyone. Everyone who overlands or rock crawls, this is something you should be doing. It's a good habit to get into. And more importantly, it'll make you more familiar with your own rig. That's always a good thing. The more familiar with your rig you are, the better off you always are. So anyway, think it's time to end the video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the comments below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to say hi, whatever. And thank you to everyone who watches and absolutely everyone who subscribes. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and you guys are really helping make this channel what it is today. I absolutely never thought we'd be at over 2,000 subscribers, and it's a wonderful feeling. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.